Cut the music. The Boston Celtics fall to the Detroit Pistons 112-105. They have dropped consecutive games, and there's one weakness that is costing the Celtics in these two games, and it's coming from the star player in Jaylen Brown. But what's up, everyone, and welcome in to your Celtics source on this Monday evening after the Celtics fall to the Detroit Pistons. A game that was never out of reach, but the Pistons execute in crunch time. Or more rather, the Celtics, I wouldn't say collapse, but they don't take advantage of opportunities, especially from Jaylen Brown. And that's where I want to start today, because Jaylen Brown is carrying this team on most nights. In this game, he has 34 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in just, 40 minutes. So he is playing, almost entire games here to try and get the Celtics a win on each and every night. Now, Derrick White showed up in this game. In the last couple of games, Derrick White has played well. He's definitely gotten out of his shooting struggles to start the season over these, last 2 weeks or so when the Celtics have gone, 5-2. But Jaylen Brown is missing one aspect that some of the other stars in this league have, and that's the free throws. In this game, he misses half of his free throws, 7 of 14. I've been complaining, other people have complained, Jaylen Brown complains about the fact that Jaylen Brown doesn't get a great whistle. He does not go to the line like some of the other superstars in this league as much as he should be. He gets fouled on, consecutive plays. Every single night he's getting fouled on plays that are not called. Now, some of these, are plays that they just let go, but there are definitely some plays that he should be getting a better whistle on. But that being said, you have to take advantage when you get those opportunities, given how sparse they are. Right? This game was a 4-point game with about 2 minutes left, and Jaylen Brown gets fouled, goes to the line, and he misses both free throws. I don't think they were even close. I think one hit off the back of the rim, one did rim around and out. But if you want to be a superstar in this league, now I'm not saying Jaylen Brown isn't, but you want to be in All-NBA contention, you want to win these games, you have to be hitting more than 7 free throws if you're taking 14, right? Players that are, taking 20-plus free throws a night, Shea, Jalen Brunson, some of the elite foul baiters in this league, they have more, leeway when it comes to that because they're getting to the line enough that, they're still hitting at a decent clip that it doesn't matter if you miss one here or there. But first of all, they're not shooting in the 50s from the line, that's for sure. But second of all, you don't have that luxury because you're getting so few free throws. You have to take advantage when they come, and that's what's costing them in this game, right? You add 7 more free throws. If he makes all 14 of his free throws, this is a tie game at the very least. It's going into extra time. Right? It's going into bonus. But it isn't, and you lose by 7 due to Jaylen Brown's, inability to knock down these clutch, free throws and take advantage of the Pistons basically bailing you out because it wasn't great offense the Celtics had down the stretch in this game. A lot of ISO basketball, a lot of, Derrick White did hit a couple threes, which I'll talk about, but he also did hit I think he had 2 air balls in the final 5 minutes or so as well. So a couple big threes and a couple air balls, and actually a massive air ball to ice the game for the Celtics. But yeah, let's move on to Derrick White's performance because, like Jaylen Brown, there are some great things coming from Derrick White. It's great to see him, continue to build on the shooting performances he's had over the last couple of days after starting so slow, as I had said. But then again, he has a couple bad passes that lead to turnover, a couple, dribbles that he loses control of. One going to a Cade Cunningham just monster dunk, transition dunk that was, I think there was a foul on there. Derrick White definitely did foul Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham does pick up the technical afterwards, sort of arguing, rightfully so. Don't worry, we get lots of those as well when Tatum's around. But, to be honest, it didn't really matter. The Celtics just, or at least Derrick White, just did not have a great final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, I'd say. Right? He had an okay final five with some of the big threes that he hit. But in those final 2 minutes with the turnovers and the bad passes and the 2 air balls from three, not a great 2 minutes from Derrick White. But that being said, in this game, he does drop 31 points, 10 of 18 shooting, 5 of 12 from three, so still not great, but a solid performance. Right up in the 40s is where you want to be if you're Derrick White, so I'll take that. He does hit his free throws at least, 6 of 7, 6 rebounds, only 1 assist for him tonight. Not a great playmaking game, as I had said, right? A lot of those, he does end up with, 4 turnovers. Really should have had more, a couple bad steals that he created, a couple bad passes, as I had said, not only in the last 2 minutes, but throughout the game. So just not a great way to basically pick up your superstar who's missing at the line throughout the night. You need, someone else to step up, and Derrick White does, but that's it. I mean, I want to move on just because the Celtics bench was a huge problem in this game, along with the shooting, but specifically the bench, really, put you in a huge hole when it came to your starters, right? The bench, including Anthony Simons, scores just 14 points. Anthony Simons having 9 of those, the 5 other coming from Hugo Gonzalez early in the first quarter. Compared to the Pistons, who I think get 47 from their bench. So you're putting so much stress on your starters to make plays to win you the game, when as a bench, you can only score 14 points. You're getting nothing from Sam Hauser, who in this game goes, I believe, 0 of 1 from 3, takes 1 shot, plays just 4 minutes. Josh Minot plays 13 minutes, gets nothing. Shireman, 15 minutes, gets nothing. So you can't, if you want to be winning these games consistently, you can't be putting that much stress on your starters, given that your starters are already playing, 40 minutes a night when it comes to Jaylen Brown, Derrick White. You are struggling now defensively, the way it really should have been to start this season. Right? They never should have been a good defensive team with the size that they have out there, and it's starting to come to fruition. This team right now, I know it's only 2 games. I know they're still good, games above 500. They're still in a top seed in the Eastern Conference, but the trends haven't been great. They've won those 5 games, but they won them on great offense, and their defense went a little downhill. And you get 2 games now where their offense falls apart, and there's no way to win these games when you are playing like that defensively. That being said, you're in both these games down to the end. The Celtics, they fight hard. The energy hasn't, we're not getting all those massive momentum swings, plays from, guys like Jordan Walsh, Josh Minot. That energy stuff, we haven't seen as of recently. Now, that's just sort of the luck of the draw when it comes to bounces and, turnovers. Some of those, you just have to be in the right place at the right time. But we haven't been getting any of those, which can, obviously get the crowd into it and swing games in your favor. So it'd be nice to get a couple more of those as the game goes on. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this short as we are going to be doing a full podcast episode tomorrow. But please like and subscribe. Follow on social media. Once again, the Celtics dropped this one 112 to 105 consecutive games here. It's not looking great offensively for the Celtics right now, let alone the problems that they're already facing defensively. But I believe the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken, they play next game is on Friday against the Miami Heat. 7 o'clock game. We will have a live reaction actually after that. And then I'm not sure on the schedule for podcasts or reactions as we head into Christmas, as I will be with families and then overseas. But that being said, please like and subscribe. Follow on social media. You can check out the podcast, which will be dropping tomorrow afternoon at some time on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, go Celtics.